Mercy may seem like the easiest, most brain dead hero in the game, but if you aren't maximizing Mercy, then you're basically providing no value. Carrying on Mercy is possible, and once you watch and internalize these tips, you can easily climb the GM locking the wings. This guide is not only going to be telling you what to do, but why to do it, so you can start putting yourself in the Grandmaster mindset. In this video, we will be going over Mercy's priorities and abilities, Mercy's ultimate, Valkyrie, the Superjump, the Mercy pairing guide, identifying a playstyle of Mercy, and other important tips like positioning, using map structure, and pathing. Hey there, by the way, my name is Shift, and I'm a top 500 support streamer that specializes in Mercy, Brig, and a few others. I've managed to reach 45-18 playing Mercy using these very tips and mindsets that I'm about to tell you. This is the ultimate Mercy guide. Alright, since Mercy is a high game sense, low mechanical skill hero, the priorities and ability usage that you have is pretty much the most important part of your kit and your playstyle. Let's go over a few so you stop feeding. 1. Never go out of position to save someone else, because you can't heal stupid. While playing Mercy, you need to play as selfishly as possible. You get so much value from staying alive, and for some reason you think you're this angel who can save everyone, but no, you are not. And should not try to save anyone. Oftentimes, if you try to go out of position to save someone, you also die. Now there's 2 dead instead of 1. This will make you lose more games than you win. We will go over what out of position means in a bit. Rezzing is never a priority and should only be done if there's absolutely no negatives. Never res if you can't, because if you go for a res, either you or someone else may die, and then you are down even more when you don't even need to be. This has the same rule as last time, that you need to save yourself and never let yourself die for your team. No, don't. There is a time when you can get funny or crazy rezzes off that I'll explain later. Let me say it again. Tip 3 is to value your life. This is a culmination of the last 2, but it's so important, so I'm saying it again. You get the most value on Mercy by staying alive. Rezzing is never needed to win a fight, but it's just an added bonus on top of Mercy's amazing healing. If you stay alive and heal everyone to victory, it's better. Number 4, stop healing tanks, unless you're playing with Zen, Lucio, or Brig. If you are healing tanks, you're throwing, period. Unless you're playing with a Zen, Lucio, or Brig, then you will have to, but when playing, you should be trying to heal less and less the more you climb. If you pocket a DPS and let your Ana heal all your tanks, she will get her ult faster, and the DPS you're pocketing will also get their ult faster, helping you win the fight. Valk does nothing, you don't need to charge it very fast. Only heal tanks unless it's absolutely necessary, please. This leads me into my next one. Damage boost is actually Mercy's main beam, not healing. I'll go over this more with identifying a playstyle, but this is the introduction that you should be right-clicking at all times unless you're healing. Done healing, back to blue beam. That is your primary beam. My last priority is that Mercy is a hard cover hero. On Mercy, you bounce from corner to corner and hard cover using your GA. Basically, the enemy team should practically never see you the entire game. You should be behind cover so much. Alright, let's go more in depth with Mercy's abilities. Mercy has her Caduceus Staff, Pistol, Guardian Angel, Resurrection, and Angelic Descent. All of Mercy's abilities are very straightforward, however, in order to get maximum value with these, I would recommend these settings for playing Mercy. If you are new to Mercy and you do not have her Guardian Angel mastered, start with all of these Mercy settings off. That's toggle GA, GA prefers beam target, and toggle the beam. Then, once you are really able to master Mercy's Guardian Angel, I would recommend putting GA prefers beam target on, but keep the others off. This makes it better for Mercies with high game sense and decision making. It also makes it easier to look around and get the game sense without having to look at the person you want to fly to. You can still heal someone and fly away from them by doing something where you disconnect the beam, fly to someone else, and then start looking at the original hero, healing them as you fly away. Mercy's ultimate, Valkyrie, is the ultimate part of all the priorities that I told you not to do. Mercy gives long-range healing to save teammates without having to go out of position, and you can get extra mobility for yourself. I have 3 reasons for you to Valk most of the time. Disclaimer, this is not always the case, but having these 3 tips to Valk will help you get the most value out of Valk most of the time. 1. Valk for long-range heals that you couldn't have done otherwise. 2. Valk to save yourself if you're being pressured due to the extra mobility. 3. Use Valk to get a res off you couldn't otherwise. This is the part that I said earlier, when you can get crazy and funny rezzes off. Yeah, do it in Valk. It's basically Mercy's ultimate for me just to use Valk to get a res off. It's not that uncommon. These tips are basically upgrades to what you couldn't do with a normal Mercy. That being said, stop engage Valking. It is so bad, please. You could just do this with a normal beam, and Valk saves no one from your team besides herself. So, if you're engaging and they use big ults but you Valked, you've just now wasted Valk and saw all your team die in a grab. I'm not going to say to never engage Valk because it always depends on the situation, but an exception to not engage Valking would be if your team is running double shield. You can engage with Valk like it's a rezzes ultimate, damage boosting the whole team only. If you're going to engage Valk, at least damage boost a little bit. Also, just because you can fly freely on Mercy, that does not mean you should. Keep staying in hard cover as Mercy and Valkyrie, and keep GAing back and forth into hard cover just like normal. Otherwise, this can happen. Also, a fun tip that you may not have known, but you can crouch in Valk to descend faster than looking down. It's kinda cool. Mercy has a button combination that allows her to fly vertically, getting to essential high ground and away from divers, but it is not always good. Do not spam this. It will get you killed the more and more you climb. Don't spam GA at all, in fact. Using it less may actually be better, like the Superjump. You need to know how to do the Superjump though to succeed on Mercy. The way this works is you press the crouch button at the same time or a millisecond before you press the Guardian Angel button. At the end of the GA, Mercy will do a little lip upwards. Just at the end of this lip, you jump with a spacebar to fly into the air. The longer or shorter you wait at this lip will change the height of your super jump. To do this easier, put crouch on a mouse button and keep GA on the shift key. That way you can use both hands without some weird buttons. Like I said, don't spam this essentially against snipers because you will start dying. You can also use this super jump along with a res for a funny moment, but this should only be done in close situations where a res could win a fight, but you don't have Valk yet. Don't do this every time because it's hard to get down and you could be inconsistent. You can practice super jumping and super jump rezzes with this practice range code GP8V8. It's really good, I promise. Let's go over when to play Mercy and what hero should pairs well with. Mercy works incredibly well with long range damage heroes like Ashe, Widowmaker, Hanzo, Pharah, Echo, Soldier, and McCree. But other DPS that are okay with Mercy but aren't as strong are Torb, Sim, Junkrat, Genji, and Bastion. You could theoretically pocket all of these heroes. Try to avoid playing Mercy with rush comps and heavy brawl comps like Rein, Zarya, Lucio comps. Mercy wants to stand back and help a DPS poke from range. Oftentimes, doing nothing is more on Mercy. Going off and only pocketing your DPS is the best way to get value on Mercy. Only heal tanks in your team if it's absolutely necessary, but never leave your other support lonely. You could say your number one priority for a hero is your other support over your DPS, so always be keeping an eye on your other support. Mercy literally does not require aim to heal, so what you make up for in mechanical skill, you can spend on game sense. Something that is so important to climb and reach GM is looking around and getting your awareness. And you can practically do this infinitely on Mercy to get a massive amount of game sense. While beaming your Ashe, look around for flankers in other directions other than where the Ashe is shooting, so you can actually provide some value rather than just look at what our Ashe is shooting or a wall. Remember, damage boost is Mercy's main beam still, by the way. Don't forget you can damage boost special things like Ashe's Dynamite, Bastion's ultimate, Echo's sticky bombs, Genji's blade, Hanzo's storm arrows, Junk's mines, McCree's Deadeye, Moira's coalescence, Pharah and her barrage, Reaper's ultimate, Rein's fire strikes, hog hooks, Sigma's ultimate, Soldier's visor, Symmetra's orbs, Widow grapple shots, Winston's Tesla cannon, Ball's pile drive, Zarya really anytime during the mid fight when she's high energy, or Zenyatta's 5 orbs. Like I said earlier, Mercy should always be in hard cover and practically invisible to the enemy team. Use GA to bounce between these hard covers. Staying at max beam range is one of my favorite things to say because you are in perfect distance away from enemy ultimates and abilities, then you can also be in hard cover there. One little tip I do when I'm playing against enemy snipers, where if I'm flying across a dangerous area, I flip around back and forth when going across sight lines. This makes it harder for snipers to click my head because GA puts an easy path for me to be on. Mercy is good on most maps, however open space and 2CP maps are the best for Mercy, so Temple of Anubis, Hanamura, Volskaya are good as well as Junkertown, Havana, and Rialto. They can all be good for Mercy, but the other ones aren't bad necessarily. If you want to learn how to play Brig at a top 500 level also, check out the card in the corner for that video. If you have any questions, feel free to come by one of my Twitch streams. I stream every day at 6 p.m. EST except for Tuesday and Saturday.